Hello, you're listening to Hibs Talk. I'm your host, always Gav. Joining me today is Dave.
Alright.
And Stephen.
True. Alright.
How you guys doing?
I'm good. You?
I'm good. Cough again and you're out the house. It's like, so like if at any point I just, the conversation goes to just me and Stephen or me and Dave, one of them's coughed again, I've stopped the recording and they've been chucked out. I'm not even acknowledging it, I'm just chucking you out.
You only need to be in presence for 15 minutes, Gavin. We've already shared a coffee, so...
Frick.
Too late.
Anyway, how you guys doing?
I'm comfortable.
Aye, new chairs.
The new chairs are here.
Aye.
I can see myself dragging this podcast out. I'm in no rush to go. Same actually, to be fair.
Does this mean you might actually be a bit cheerier? A bit more positive
absolutely not.
Aye. Not that we've got any performances to kind of analyse and be...
Hibs can't get beat.
Aye, true. See, you're already being more positive.
Yeah. But then again, Hearts kind of go down.
We're going to have a brief chat about that in terms of the impact in the league and stuff. Not that we are experts, just have a kind of casual chat about it in this sort of crazy, serious world that we're living in at the moment. But other than the stuff going on outside the world, how you guys been? What you've been up to this week?
Call of Duty.
Aye, the new Call of Duty came out. I've not downloaded it. You've been telling me to download it.
Yeah, it's class.
Aye.
Big battle royale, 150 folk dropping into the map.
A free game as well, which is
completely
nice.
Free. Good way to spend the time if you end up in the house for a wee while. So I've not really done much else apart from table tennis, but we'll keep that for table tennis podcast.
And Stephen, I mean, you're probably been busy as a lot of people kind of are, which kind of planning how your childcare arrangements might change in the coming weeks.
Well, that and working in the NHS, both shit right now. Not a good place for me right now.
Yeah, parent and working in the NHS is kind of bad combo. Dreadful.
Nah, I've not even thought about how I'm going to look at it because you can't really plan for it now.
Nah, it's quite crazy. I think that we'll probably all had sort of chats about it kind of terms of work and what the impact that's going to have, and a lot of people talking about working from home and.
I can't do that.
No, you can't do that with NHS, so I'd yet to see if that's still an option for me, but we'll wait and see. What about yourself, Dave? Any sort of for working in retail, any opportunities to work it from home?
Probably no, mate.
No?
Nah, don't know what will happen. Just wait and see.
Yeah.
End of the day, retail's not that important, so whatever happens, happens.
Yeah. And I mean, on to that kind of sentiment then, I guess that's kind of the main sort of takeaway, I guess, from what's the decision that's going to happen about the football in terms of suspending the football. At the end of the day, football's not important. Health and well-being is.
It's not, isn't it at all? So no, football's not important, but betting is. I'm joking like that.
I know you're gonna have nothing to bet on.
I know. We're gonna save a fortune.
Aye. Good thing we're not sponsored by a betting company anymore.
Yay. Get it up. At least everybody will be in to get their flooring and their interior decorating done.
Aye, hopefully they're still busy. But but I mean, it's a right decision in the end though. Yeah.
Aye, well, you couldn't keep playing. It's pointless. It's a wee bit annoying that it took England to say we're not doing it anymore, for us to say we're not doing it anymore.
Aye.
But as always, we want to be independent, but we're not at all. We hang on their coattails.
I can just imagine when Maxwell and who's the other one, whatever his name is, put out that sort of thing and say, we're suspending it too, and then all the way down to grassroots football, and then somebody went, England aren't suspending grassroots football. They're not? Oh no!
No, it's too late.
Oh no! Oh, can we go back on that? England's not doing it. Should we be doing it?
Yeah.
But yeah, so I mean, it's I think I was listening to somebody talk about this the other day. It's kind of there's obviously the thing of putting that amount of people in close space, but also the fact that all those football games would need ambulances and other medical personnel to be there, where those medical personnel will need to be on hand for everything else that's kind of going on in the world just now. So
you've got to look at the bigger picture.
Aye. So what are football fans going to do with their time? I mean, you've mentioned COD, Dave. Any other sort of plans? I mean, at least the next sort of 3 weeks, kind of no football. Out of nowhere, we kind of thought we were going to have football. So it's not even like you can stay at home and watch football on the telly. There's no football on. There's no sport on. There's no golf on. There's no cricket on. No F1. What are you going to do with your time?
I'll probably keep playing table tennis if possible.
If the centre's still
if the
open.
sports centre's still open.
I think I might need to take it up.
I know. Aye. We'll come and join you.
Yes, this is going well.
You can teach us in the ways of it, and then we'll come back and do a podcast, table tennis.
Well,
and and we can sort of be reflecting on, what we're learning week to week.
I thought a table tennis podcast would actually be quite interesting because we could talk through the game.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I served it to you, and then you hit it back to me, and then I hit it back to you, and then you hit it back to me, and then I hit it back to you, and then you hit it back to me, but it went a wee bit long, but then I still reached it, and I hit it back to you, and then you hit it back to me.
It's actually quite soothing, eh?
See, well, that's if we're good at it, 'cause that's a decent rally there. There will be some rallies that are like, oh, you hit the net, but I think people would listen to that.
Okay.
Side project.
So I mean, looking at the impact of the season this is going to have on the season, then I mean, like I say, we're no experts. We just, three guys having a laid back chat about it. There's a lot more serious stuff in the world and stuff. So
I'm an expert. I watched Sky News the other day for a couple of hours.
So you're an expert in everything now.
Everything. Do you not know that? No.
Oh, sorry, I didn't. I missed that memo.
Aye, if you sit and just watch the news and that for a while, like, there's loads of experts out there. There are hundreds of experts on Twitter and that too, like all the Daz and that.
I do get an email every day about it and what's updating.
I watched an expert on a Joe Rogan podcast now, so that's me an expert now. I know everything about it.
Yeah.
Aye.
Yeah. So.
But now obviously the impact. So I mean, look, first off, let's chat about Hibs then. We're going to kind of speak on what the potential solutions that have been discussed are. We spoke last season that Europe was probably out of reach for Hibs. Now we spoke about how it was kind of a case of, are we going to get top 6 or we're not going to get top 6? And then we're discussing, is that even that big a deal other than the financial side of it? Another Edinburgh derby is not the worst thing in the world, and an opportunity to play some youngsters, whereas playing the Old Firm. So we were kind of like, we're kind of discussion there about whether the top 6 was that important. Back to the point I'm trying to make here, in terms of all the sides that are going to be affected by this, if the season was to end, Hibs are not really one of them, because our season was kind of just sort of playing it out till the end of the season and building for next season. Yeah,
it depends on what happens with the Scottish Cup. Aye, probably, but
no, it's a good point about the Scottish Cup. We guess we still have that, but in terms of the league anyway, it was we didn't have much high hopes of what we could do between now and the end of the season. It was more, right, what can we do to prepare for next season? It was kind of the takeaway from last week. I don't know if I read that wrong, but that seemed to be your guys' opinion.
Yeah, I would say so. I doubt anybody can actually think we're going to get Europe.
No, definitely not. I say 7 for 8th for the end of the season now, and
so Hibs aren't going to be one of the teams that are going to be affected by this.
Mind you, I keep forgetting this. See, if we win the Scottish Cup, or if Celtic win the Scottish Cup and we get beat off them in the final, do we not get Europe?
If they changed it, if we get beat in the final, it goes to the next place in the league.
4th place, sorry.
Oh, damn it.
Nah, you had to win it to get it now.
Oh, well, let's win it then.
Aye.
So there is still a chance.
Aye.
Depends if it gets played or not.
Yeah.
So like I said, there has been a few opinions sort of mentioned in terms of what could possibly be done. So I just want to get your guys' sort of opinions on these, and we'll kind of discuss them. End of the season now. Take the standings as it is.
I would selfishly say yes.
Stephen?
Yeah.
So you're saying yes because of the current standings in the league, but taking away the bias from where our city rivals are currently sitting in the league, what are the problems with that one?
You can't do that. I don't think you can do that.
Nah, there'd be, Hearts lawyers straight away would be straight in and be like, nah, the games have to be completed over the whole season. And yeah, they'd have a case.
Well, as a betting man, if your bet goes 75% or more into the game, so if there's more than, I think it's 70 minutes played in a game and then it gets abandoned, then the result still stands. There's been more than 70% of the season played, so why not just?
Because it's not a betting thing. This is actually
but no, I mean in a genuine football game. Like if there's more than 70 minutes of a game played and then it gets abandoned, the result stands. So there's more than 70% of the season.
I think that's in a game though. I think if you were to take, there's so much riding on when you can consider if you wipe out 25% of the season, and then say you did obviously just relegate them, On the other hand, if you then just void it, then it just puts the value for everything that you've just done and every team's just done. Then the podcast is pointless.
I'm just trying to keep
Paul
positive
Heckenbottom,
here.
if it was all voided, Paul Heckenbottom might be asking for his job back. So I mean, yeah, and another one has been resume the games when you can, but only play to 33 games, so cancel the split. So everybody would have played each other 3 times. There's a fair sort of amount of times you've played each other, but obviously there's not that you do go into the league expecting to play the 38. But would that be fairer?
Rangers are too many points behind Celtic with 3 games to go.
You'd be as well, but that'd be fine. Just as long as Rangers didn't get the league, and then that would be Hearts 3 games to go, and the 4 points off, and the 6 points off St Mirren, so St Mirren would only need 3 points.
1 point for Hearts to end up in the playoffs. No, I'm bad at maths.
They're 4 points behind Hamilton.
Like, yeah, I am bad at maths. You know what I mean?
And we've got Hamilton to play. Just soon, if we can't get anything in 3 games, just youngsters out, good experience for them.
Do you think that's a real possibility?
Nah. They've got to finish the league.
No.
I think they've just got to finish the whole thing.
Or avoid it.
No, it can't be avoided. It can't be avoided and it can't be done. You've got to just finish it. I've seen so many people been saying, oh, but the next season starting and that, and then I've also seen the argument of, but why are we bothered about next season? Next season's not here yet. What's the time? There's no, you've got hundreds of time. The world's going to keep going.
Mm-hmm.
So that the season starts later, you then just a knock-on effect, and like when you have your breaks and that, and you just got to try and work something out like that. We didn't know how long it's going to go for though, so we didn't know how long it's going to be impacted.
Could the potential do something, eventually once it kind of starts back up, finish the season, have a shorter break, and then maybe have like a shorter season with maybe like 33 games or like, I don't know, some sort of shorter season to then the season after that start again in August.
The world should just do what they should do. It should be like, right, or the UK should do this, because we'd need England to do it for Scotland to follow suit. Scotland, when they just do something off the back of their own ideas, use this to implement summer football.
Yeah,
and go for then on forward.
But then that affects the summer tournaments, which I know this one's been talked about being delayed until next summer, but
Scotland didn't go to summer tournaments.
I
could have went pretty much my whole life with summer football as a supporter, and it would never have affected a national tournament.
I was saying this to Dave earlier though, that like if they suspend Euro 2020 until next year, you've got World Cup qualifiers starting next year. So how are you going to fit a summer tournament in the World Cup qualifiers? You can't.
I don't know.
You can't. That's the point. I mean, I didn't get 5 weeks off in the summer for my work. Why should football players? They get paid a lot more than me.
They need their bodies to recover and that. But see, to be fair, see the folk that are making all these decisions, they rake in how much money?
Yeah.
Exactly. Sit down and make a decision.
But and obviously the one these have kind of touched on there was the writing off the season. No winners, no relegation, and also possibly talk of extending the league to 14, promoting Dundee United. And who's second at the moment? Is it
Inverness? I wouldn't do that.
I don't know. What's the point? 14. It's 2 more teams. That does absolutely nothing for me. And in that whole, you then have 2 rounds of games, then a split, and then another 2 rounds of games in that split. Oh my God, that's horrendous.
That's quite bad.
What it reminds me of? It reminds me of when Rangers never got promoted for the Championship that first season. And they were saying that if Rangers never got promoted the second season, when we were in it, that they would extend the league. Because they were going to extend it to 14 or 16 then.
But, in terms of, if they couldn't restart the season, Dundee United do deserve to come up.
Yeah. I would have a 16-team league over a 14-team league. I don't see the value adding two teams that doesn't mix it up enough.
So would you add the 4 teams that were in the 4 teams or 3 teams? 3 teams in the playoff places, and then Dundee United.
Yeah, because they would have earned the right over
to fight for
course of this season that they were there, so they would go up, and anybody that's below that couldn't name up their gums and be like, oh, we didn't know that was happening. Well, you knew that there's a chance to. The whole point in the league is to finish up as high as you can. So that's your own fault for not finishing high enough. And then I spoke to my papa about there being a 16-team league, and he made a good point. Is that there'd be a lot less pressure on the smaller teams and they'd be a lot more likely to play youngsters and young Scottish folk in that, because there'd be less chance of going down. So, or you'd have a lot more games like with each other, like Dundee versus Hamilton, Dundee, Inverness, and all that would all be playing each other, and there'd be younger players getting played in the league, and it maybe improve the quality of Scottish football.
Aye, I mean, I'm a big fan of the. I mean, obviously it's going to be a stretch to get to 20, but I like the fact that you've got the English League with the 20
home and away.
Home and away, that's it. You play everybody twice, once home, once away. I think I love the simplicity of that. Whereas, you look at our league, you look at the Belgian league with splits and stuff, and playing in some teams so many different times, and I just think it gets messy. And then, we had the thing where we played, was it Rangers 3 times at Ibrox? Like that, and then once Easter, that is crazy that can happen over a season. Like, I mean, we pumped them twice that season, but still.
Thing as well, because obviously if you extend it to 16 teams, play each other twice, that's 30 games. Play like 3 times, that's 45 games a season. Like, where's got to be the stop for a split? Because if you split it 8 and 8, that's 37 games.
That's quite close to what we're on now, so that probably works.
But then again, though, how are you going to justify it though? Like, because how are you going to work out? Like, you're going to put it to 3 teams at the bottom of the league that get relegated? Are you got to do it like England, or you got to do it?
I don't know. I mean, that's all. This is all kind of getting into the thing of a discussion of whether we'd like a 16 team league or not. But would that be like a fair solution for? If say Celtic weren't awarded the league and Hearts weren't relegated, and then those teams in the Championship still get rewarded, is that kind of fair on, like, say Celtic and Hearts who are not getting their rewards, and 2 their just desserts?
You've got an SFA hierarchy that can't organise a fucking 3-week break. Like, I mean, how are you expecting them to work out like how to extend or shorten a league? Like, this has just got to turn into an absolute disaster come the end of the season.
But is it fair to say that all the governing bodies, this is happening not just in Scotland but across Europe, all the governing bodies, no matter what they say, everyone's going to, I don't know if everyone's going to try and agree on a similar thing, or whether everyone's going to come together and get like UEFA or FIFA involved to kind of get a unionised decision, or whether each league's going to do it differently. And I think it was, I seen Lewis Cummins on Hibs fan on who does the Statements League put on Twitter, no matter what decision they're going to come to, it's going to be the wrong one.
Yeah.
And you could take that 2 ways. One is they're like you sort of say, they're a mess and they're probably getting it wrong. 2, even if they do come up with probably the best potential solution, everyone's still going to pick flaws in it.
But all you do is finish the league.
But then you say that, but you're going to say so you'd be happy with that, Dave. But you're going to get people that are going to argue against that.
Why?
Be like,
how can you argue against something?
But you will get people that argue against that and say that's affecting next season, and people that wouldn't be happy with that.
Who cares? There's a lot bigger problems going on in the world. You stop football, clear this, then finish the league. I don't understand how that's difficult.
If you give it to anybody else as a blanket solution, there's too many different possibilities in each league. They all play their leagues different. They all have different amount of teams that get promoted and relegated. They've all got different formats, and that we've got the split. Premier League only have like the 2 games each. Like, there's just far too many different formalities for a governing body like UEFA or FIFA to blanket a solution for everybody. So it's got to come back to the SFA. They've got to fuck it up, and then that's got to be it. I think that, like Dave says, the solution is just to play it out this season, regardless of when this all passes.
But then you come into the issue of players coming to the end of their contract, loan contracts coming to an end, the transfer window, does that get moved along? Clubs, have kind of budgeted for a financial year and then have to potentially extend that to all these sort of issues. It's not a simple fix.
All play FIFA. The club captains turn up for each club.
Yeah.
They play each other at FIFA. Winner gets the points. I'd say that was pretty fair.
I'd agree with that.
Is David Gray any good at FIFA?
He's got to fucking get good. We've got about 5 captains anyway. So
before we go agreeing to this, let's find out if David Gray's good at FIFA first.
Right, Davey, if you're listening, he's not going to listen. If he's listening, I'm going to start panicking and that. But oh my god, David Gray listens. But
what was your point?
To be fair, Bartley
Playmate
listens.
FIFA.
He's at Livy. He's our vice captain.
Vice captain. Well, he's not getting to play then.
But their captain might be injured. You don't ken if it's FIFA, mate.
Thumb injury. Vice captain needs to step in.
Oh, well. See what happens. At the end of the day, it's exactly what everybody's saying now, and this is no just been boring, but it doesn't really matter. In the grand scheme of life, like the football season, I'll go back to normal eventually, so just need to find out a solution to what the hell to do now, and that, for me, they need to finish it.
So before we jump on to do a quiz, just a quick shout out again to our sponsors, 10+4. They sorted us out this week with, you guys have been moaning about chairs for so long, and since they're such long-term listeners, they kind of said, you know what, we can sort you out with some chairs. And I thought they were coming on Friday because I was off on Friday and that was fine. And then I got a message saying, where are you? And Thursday whilst I was at work. And yeah, so they were left out the back garden with covers and stuff. But how are you finding your chairs?
Well, they're much better.
Definite
upgrade.
Mine spins. It's great. Sorts out my restless leg syndrome.
I know, because Dave, you got here first, so you had the choice of the two chairs.
I did. I was sitting in them, and
why did you not go for the spinny chair?
I decided that I liked the sturdiness of this one.
So for those, obviously folk can't see this, one has got four wooden legs. The two, the actual designs of the chairs are quite similar, but then Stephen's ones has got the wheels and spins round. So Dave, why did you go for the sturdiness opposed to the spinniness, or are you now regretting that as you see Stephen spin around?
No, I know he fidgets a lot.
I do fidget a lot. I've got one of your magnets in my hand as we speak.
And I just kind of sit here and boss it, didn't I? So I just sit still and he doesn't.
It is appreciated. Plus your cat's been on that for the last 3 days and I'm allowed out to cats. So.
That's true. I should have said he was adorable last night, sprawled out on it. I didn't have the heart to move him. But I've not let him go anywhere near it in terms of using it as a scratch post or anything, so don't worry about that.
Give it 2 weeks and we'll need 10+4 to provide us with new seats.
I'll try and keep the cat away. So yeah, cheers again to 10+4 for that, for sorting us out. And like I say, good local league company, so I appreciate them.
Not great,
good habits
just
as well.
good.
We'll not be able to see them though.
I know.
Drinks and that.
Aye, pre-match pints. We'll need to, don't know, depending on how this next few weeks unfolds, we might try and catch up with them at some point. Anyway, cheers again, guys. So for a bit more light-hearted fun, we thought we'd do a season so far quiz. So this is part one of that. We're kind of hoping to have part two further down the line. But yeah, usual rules apply. There'll be the multiple choice for some of the questions, and if you know it, say your name and wait for me to come to you. So question number 1. Martin Bollymate has come back from injury against Livingston. However, which club did he re-injure himself against earlier in the season? Was it Alloa, Arbroath, Elgin or Stirling?
Dave, Elgin.
Correct. 1-0 Dave.
Your glasses are steaming up.
Thanks, I'll take them off. Nah, I need them to see. I'll just sort of tilt my head up so I can see from the bottom of them.
Is it because what you're looking at is hot?
Yes.
Me?
Yeah, very much so, Dave.
Thank you.
Hibs topped the League Cup group, but with how many points? 10, 11, 12, 14?
Stephen, 11.
Correct. 1-1. We went out of the League Cup in the semi-final against Celtic. What was the score?
Stephen, 5-2.
2-1 Stephen. Stephen's no happy.
Even though I can't remember a single thing about that
game. Next question. Who scored the goals for Hibs that day?
Stephen, Hallberg and...
I'm going to need to rush for an answer.
Hanlon.
Incorrect. Dave, I do have options if you want to hear them.
Yeah, go.
You've got all the time you want. So, was it Canberry twice, Doidge and Jackson, Canberry and Hallberg, or Doidge and Hallberg?
Canberry and Hallberg.
Correct. 2-2. Ooh. So, question number whatever we're on. How many games was Heckingbottom in charge of Hibs? So this is going back to last season as well. Was it 32, 33, 34 or 35?
Dave, this one's easy. 34.
Incorrect.
Stephen, 33.
Incorrect. It was 32.
Oh my god.
So the score is still 2-2, yeah?
Peels.
Where were Hibs in the league when he was sacked? 7th, 8th, 9th or 10th?
Stephen, 10th.
Correct. 3-2. I should probably have got a tiebreaker just in case.
No, like you.
How many permanent signings did we make?
Stephen. 7.
Correct.
Complete guess.
Is it?
No lie. Complete guess.
Aye. 7 permanent signings.
3
Cool.
loan.
Aye.
And you said that the answers have been sitting in front of us the whole time.
Yep.
And
Fuck off.
Just
I
saying.
swear in my life I never saw them.
Not the whole time, about 10 minutes before we changed over to the quiz, yeah. I put the thing down by accident.
And I said I hadn't looked because I genuinely hadn't looked.
You got the first
When
answer right.
Stephen said a bit of a blinder there. Ken, why had you got the first answer right? Superior knowledge.
No, clearly the quiz says otherwise.
To be fair, I didn't have the answers marked down which ones were right.
So basically it was just a complete guess. Thank you.
Touché.
So Stephen wins the season so far quiz part 1. Depending on what happens with the coronavirus, we'll obviously try and attempt a part 2 in the coming weeks. But obviously it's going to be difficult. I don't want to sort of say for definite what our plans are. We're kind of still discussing it. If I'm honest, there's no point in sort of.
To be fair, I think we should just stop the quiz there. Stop the league there. I'll win, you lose.
Well, I've stopped the quiz. You won the quiz.
No,
But he
we
means
don't need to put part 2.
Didn't have part 2.
Oh, right,
Can't
okay.
standings
Can't
as it is.
extend it.
And I'm going to say that if we don't come back into part 2, then it should just be voided.
Right, Stendhal, simmer down.
So as I was trying to say there in the last bit, we're not entirely sure what kind of the next sort of few weeks hold for ourselves. We're kind of, if there's not really much Hibs to talk about, then we kind of feel a bit null and void. But we're going to try and do maybe sort of the odd one here and there, depending on obviously how the situation kind of goes. But we're just going to sort of see how it kind of goes over the next few weeks and stuff. But we're not going to sort of be doing the weekly podcast because if there's no Hibs to talk about every week, then we're better to kind of wait until the situation develops a bit more. We're going to try and organise maybe like Dave's no sold in this idea, but we talked about maybe doing like a Cult 11 and maybe a couple other podcasts like that. But we've got a couple ideas we're going to talk about. But like I say, we won't be doing the weekly podcast the next few weeks just because there's no Hibs to talk about and we're Hibs to talk. It's as simple as that. But yeah. So guys, what you kind of got planned for the next week? I know we kind of spoke about this earlier on a bit, but kind of what you got kind of planned for the rest of the day? No football today. What you kind of got planned for the next few weeks and stuff? Obviously, it's kind of everything's a bit up in the air.
Yeah, can't really have much plans.
Aye.
Just day by day now, innit?
Self-isolating for me.
So I guess to finish up, I thought we could do a bit of David like this. We did finish up doing a bit of food talk.
Right, what are we talking about?
So first thing I kind of wanted to talk about was your nachos. How often do you kind of make nachos in the house yourself?
Well, interesting, this one. So let me sit up straight here. I am here for this. So I like my nachos with a bit of barbecue pulled pork.
Right.
Have you had haggis nachos before?
Yes.
Classy.
Sensational.
How do you make them no dry?
I don't know. I just sort of
Because they're a wee
sour
bit.
cream salsa.
Whiskey sauce.
Do you put a wee bit of whiskey sauce?
in the nachos?
I would say peppercorn sauce would probably be better than whiskey sauce. Cause
And peppercorn sauce and nachos. This is getting me intrigued.
I don't know.
Just remember this for next time we actually do a podcast, guys.
It's all very exciting.
No,
But aye,
whiskey sauce.
nachos. What was the question?
How do you sort of make them? So say if you're just sort of making a standard nachos with your pulled pork or that, if you were just having normal.
What do you mean? You put the Chris in a bowl and then you chuck everything in tap.
But
Not everything in tap.
aye.
You put some Chris,
Right,
some cheese,
right,
and then some of the filler. So you've got middle filler,
right,
and then you put another layer on the top,
right.
and then you put it on the oven for a bit, let it all melt. Can't you dry cheese? It's got to be melted.
Yeah.
Aye.
How long for though? 8 minutes.
You've got to keep an eye on it because you didn't
Aye,
want it to
keep an eye on
start.
it,
You didn't want it to
depending.
start
Aye.
bubbling and that.
Nah,
Cause then,
I'm not trusting any timer. I'll trust my eyes.
Yes.
I keep on checking it.
Sounds like my mother.
But I mean, so for me, like similar to yourself there, Dave. But I put the, it's half the bag of crisps on, sort of spread it out. Then I put the sour cream, the salsa, and I started adding the nacho cheese sauce that you get in Asda, squirty
that.
stuff. And then you put the sprinkle in the cheese. Then you repeat that with a second layer of that, And the cheese, to me, the cheese has to go on top of the sour cream and the salsa.
Sounds like a natural
To then melt on
lasagna.
top to kind of keep the. So then you've got your melted cheese onto your nacho, and it kind of encases the sour cream and salsa and stuff like that.
You were doing so well until that.
So I like I say, that's my opinion.
Yeah.
What kind of natural crisps do you use though?
Cool original Doritos.
Yeah, probably have to say that.
I think that's probably
Oh,
a
the
good shout.
Aldo Paso ones are too salty.
Yeah, I'd agree
aye,
with that.
agree. Yeah, completely agree. And then the tango cheesy ones, whatever they're called, they're too cheesy.
Tangy cheese.
The tangy cheese. That'd be they'd probably get in trouble if they called them tango cheese.
Yeah.
So that's my take on that sort of discussion about nachos. Any other food you want to talk about, Dave?
You've been really doing this.
I'll finish up with a bit of food talk.
Empire biscuits.
So
Why wasn't there any?
Aye. To be fair, right, so I've drove through from the glorious land of Armadale, and it took me 25 minutes probably to get here. The podcast lasted until you started talking about food, it was like 28 minutes. So I came through here for that. I don't know, we had some chat on that before it, but then I got an Empire biscuit.
you could have stopped at the shop on the way. You drove
Well,
past the shop. I would have had to go out my way to go to the shop.
This
you
is the
you
dilemma.
both of you came past the shop.
Because it took me 1 minute and 36 seconds to get up the road in my car.
So you've got nothing more
But
about.
because I'd arrived after 11:30, which we had scheduled, I arrived at 20 to 12.
When have you known me to hold you to times? I mean, you have met me, right? I'm late for everything.
Yeah, well, you're late for everything.
So,
You're normally
aye.
on time, but I was expecting Dave to be on time, so I thought, oh well, Dave's probably grabbed the Empire biscuits
So
on the way up the
I
road.
was also 5 minutes late though, so I
Exactly,
expected
so-
you to have been there with
Yeah.
Empire biscuits, and
So
I turned up
I think
late.
that's
and-
where
You
the
can never have too
problem-
many Empire biscuits. So I mean, where do the co-op Empire biscuits rank in comparison to like the Kelly ones? We discussed this earlier, but is there any sort of butchers or bakeries or that do really good homemade Empire
Well, the
biscuits?
co-op don't break club regulations by putting other clubs'
Branding.
badges and that on it without asking for permission. So I would take to ask to use the club badge and you can't use it. So I don't know if that's ever happened to any use. That happened to you before?
No.
No.
I just done it anyway with my bowls.
Did you? See, I get told no, so. Yeah, we'll be a Hibs fan. Community club.
So we'll finish up there, guys. This has been Food Talk. I've been your host as always, Gav. This week we discussed nachos and a wee bit of Empire biscuits. Join us next week as we discuss tuna pasta.
And Bog Hall Butcher's pies.
Balcall Butchers is class by
I know,
the-
I'm
used to
having
live
it
round
today.
The corner from there.
I'm having it today.
Used to live around the corner from there.
Bog Hall Butcher's mince round, and then I'm having chicken balmoral pies,
Chicken balmoral pies is
chicken
what I
curry
just about to
pies.
say. Chicken balmoral pie is the way forward.
Yeah, I used to say we used to sell a lot closer to each other.
We did actually.
I know.
aye.
When you were Bog Hall, I was West Orange beside Bathgate, and then Dave, you were. That must have been much better for you, Dave, when we were all that close. I mean, it was only like the first 10 episodes or whatever, but that must have been much better for you.
In a sense, but the more time spent with these, then I'm dead bothered that these are further away.
I don't know if that's a compliment.
So to finish up, folks, just to finally say, as I kind of said before, we're not going to be here every week. We'll try and get a part 2 of the quiz in, maybe some other fun stuff in there to kind of keep your Hibs fix going. But at the end of the day, we are Hibs Talk, and if there's no Hibs to talk about, then we're going to take a break. And but stay safe, folks, and we'll speak to you soon.